because the psalm is a thanksgiving, reflective, harvest, thank you, Lord, celebratory, praise kind of psalm. It's looking back on a year of work and toil and farming and growing and cultivating. And the psalmist is thanking God for what is obviously his provision. So we read in verses 9 and 10, the view. You visit the earth and waterest it, greatly enrichest it, the river of God, which is full of water, preparest the wheat and grain, the corn, when thou hast provided for it. So this is a person looking on an abundant harvest and thanking God for it. And then I love, verse 10, thou waterest the ridges thereof abundantly, settlest the furrows thereof, makest it soft with showers, thou blessest the springing thereof. So again, much blessing from God is being celebrated. But look at verse 11, and this is truly where we are as followers of God pretty much every year. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. So God is a God of abundance. That's not to say that we don't go through lean times. Paul, the apostle, said, I know how to abound and how to be abased and how to be content in every season. There's more to fullness. There's more to fatness, is the word here, than just materialistic things, than just money or provision physically. There's more than our circumstantial externals. There's the fullness of soul. There's the fullness of heart. There's the overflowing of spirit that we can experience even in lean times, even in sickness, even in hardship. We can look back and see God crowning the year with goodness. And when you look through the lens of the gospel, wow, does that go 3D color? I mean, it just pops with the explosive goodness of God that really wraps us up and folds us up and is pouring out upon us constantly every single day. He crowns our year with his goodness. And thy paths, the paths that God chooses for us, and what a beautiful picture. The paths that God chooses for us, they drop fatness. Now, that's not a phrase that we use a lot, but the idea to drop is to overflow, okay? And fatness is, again, not a term, we think diet programs, but it's thriving, it's full, it's healthy, it's prosperous, it's soaked and saturated to the point of overflowing. Now, my friend, this really, verse 11, is where I want to park today, and I just want to leave you here with this, that God, because you're a child of God, he is in the process right now of crowning your year, 2022, with his goodness, with his fatness, overflowing. Now, you say, well, Pastor Cary, I don't have a sense of it. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what today is holding for me. You don't know the jaws of bitterness that I'm in right now. Okay, but let me just encourage you with something. God can provide comfort and encouragement and salve for your soul that you don't partake in. Now, I'm not saying that you're not dealing with a hardness. I'm saying it is your responsibility to partake of God's medication. And God's greatest medication for the soul, especially when you're thinking of things like depression or melancholy feelings, his greatest medication for this, and science backs this up. We just heard this past week from our guest speaker, Jonathan Hoover. The greatest medication for depression is gratitude. And not just like the thought of, oh, I'm thankful. No. The experience of gratitude, the working out of gratitude, the meditating, the saturation of gratitude. And so here's my encouragement to you today, is journal your way through November and December, and maybe even into the winter months. Journal your way through the end of the year and chronicle. How is God crowning your year with goodness? How is his path for you overflowing with spiritual, emotional, or even material prosperity? How is he feeding you, caring for you, directing your steps? How is he proving himself real? What has he taught you this year? What has he done for you? Now listen, I've got my challenges just like you've got yours. I've got my problems that I wish God would solve just like you've got yours. But when I look at what God has done in my life this year, I'm blown away. It is overwhelmingly remarkable and wonderful, even though there's challenges and problems that I'm dealing with right now. And I've got to decide which track to live on, and I'm going to live on the gratitude track. So join me, and let's celebrate God's crowning of our year with goodness and overflowing with provision. Happy Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.